July 20th, 2020, regular virtual city council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Mosio.
Here.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Here.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Turner. Alderman Turner.
Unmute, Keith. He was fooling around.
Alderman Turner.
I'm here.
Thank you. Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Mayor Cunningham.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. For the invocation will be led by Alderman Sylvia Sims Bolton. Alderman Bolton.
Thank you, God, that you are a sovereign God. Thank you, Lord, for opportunity to serve our community. We thank you, oh God, for those that serve at our police department, fire department. We thank you for our mayor. We thank you for our first responders, our department heads, all that serve with the spirit of sacrifice to aid our city. So God, we ask you, help us that are in leadership to collaborate in making this a great city, even when we honestly disagree. Help us, oh God, to come with the spirit of agreement. So Father, we ask for your continued strength. Give us wisdom and discretion to govern this city and what's on this agenda tonight. We thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is Mayor's comments. Good evening, everyone. The comprehensive plan. The comprehensive land use plan public presentation is next Monday, July the 27th at 5:30 on the city's YouTube channel, and everyone is urged to attend. The comprehensive plan is important to our community as it directs public and private sector use and management of land. It provides us continuity over time, shapes the appearance of our city, and promotes community and economic development. Being able to put the plan in motion is influenced by the accuracy of the census and helps with the direction of community development block grant dollars. Virtually attended the presentation and share your feedback at planning@waukeganil.gov. I'm going to repeat that. That's planning@waukeganil.gov by August the 9th at 4 p.m. And please fill out the census. It's a great time to do that. Again, our comprehensive plan, basically our feedback, where we ask for the public to document that we have out there. We need your help. Alderman, we're asking you to encourage all of your social media, other business partners to please help with shaping our community over the next 10 years. COVID travel quarantine. As a reminder that open does not mean over. The Lake County Health Department recommends people returning from an area with widespread community transmission of COVID-19 should self-quarantine for 14 days and monitor their symptoms. This includes travels from the states of Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Nevada, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. Again, this is an open does not mean over. The Lake County Health Department recommends people returning from the area with widespread community transmission of COVID-19 should self-quarantine for 14 days and monitor their symptoms. I'm going to repeat those states again: Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Nevada, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. American with Disabilities Act. Today, we have a proclamation celebrating the 30th anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act being passed. A Waukegan fan and beachgoer, Tim Dirtsmith, shared his story about trying to find a way to swim at Waukegan's beach. As a person who has swum all his life and uses a wheelchair now, after unloading his gear and getting to the edge of the cement, Tim realized the sand was not hard enough to cross. A stranger, James, pushed him over 50 yards while James' very young sons carried his equipment. After enjoying a long swim, Tim's new friend, James, was joined by Alejandra Lucas and Jesus, who picked up Tim in his wheelchair and carried him back to the cemented area. At this time, Alderman, please join me to thank these strangers in Tim's life, but not a stranger to how Waukegan operates and its citizens cares for each other. Come together to help. And Tim's story reminds us a lot of accessibility work still needs to be done. Okay, Alderman Rivera. I'm
Looks like
assuming
we've lost a couple of aldermen on the feed.
Okay, Alderman Mozio, there he is. Okay. Alderman Taylor, sounds like it's connecting. They're connecting.
Okay.
All right. Okay, there we go. I hope that you hear what I said regarding the American Disabilities Act. It's on there, and a gentleman visiting our beach was assisted by some Waukeganites. At least I want to think they're Waukeganites, or the spirit of people within our country, certainly within our city, by helping a wheelchair-bound individual take him to our beach to swim, and then help him return back to his vehicle. Just an amazing story of good Samaritans within our society. Sometimes it's not highlighted enough, but we have many of them. So I'm asking not only myself, but all the aldermen, and saying a thank you to these individuals. There's also a thank you to the Illinois National Guard. As you all know, the Illinois National Guard no longer is operating a testing center. A testing center now is being operated by a private company. However, the National Guard, I thought, should get a huge thank you from myself as the mayor, all of you as aldermen, and the great citizens of Waukegan for thanking them to coming in and not opening up, setting the expectation, and setting what it takes for us to be at this level that we are, from a phase that we are, phase 4 of this particular crisis, and how to maintain it and push past the other one. But if it wasn't for the Illinois National Guard initially opening up this test center and making it possible, not only for Waukeganites, but those on the northern part of the state of Illinois to be tested, so we can continue to monitor this heroic pandemic that has crippled not only our country, our state, but our city. Jumping off the pier, I think all of us probably should be saying something. Young men and young ladies, I understand that you think you know how to swim, but I don't think you understand the danger that lies with you jumping off one of those piers and trying to swim across to the next pier. Our fire department, I think, have had 2 rescues. Luckily, they weren't recoveries, but we've had 2 rescues thus far. If we all can remember, I think we had a total of about 3 last year where young men and young ladies lost their lives. Our Lake Michigan is not anything to be played with. The undercurrent there is deadly. We are asking you, better yet, I am begging you, please swim in safer areas. It is a tradition in Waukegan. Some of us have done it more than once. But I think with the high levels of this lake, I think that right now about 4 feet above the normal level, you just can't take that risk. Parents, grandmas, grandpas, loved ones, please talk to these young men and young ladies. We cannot sometimes get to you fast enough for it to be a rescue versus a recovery. So this is just kind of my public service announcement on this. And we simply have to be careful as we all swim in. And we're actually in all of the Lake Michigan right now, with the lake being above 4 feet, I think is measured right now. So,
Your Honor.
yes,
Your Honor.
sir. I know you had something to say, Gray.
Well, no, real, I didn't
Alderman
want to,
Mosio.
but other places, and actually I can't take the idea of this. Alderman May had sent this a while back, former Alderman May, but some places have a pole on the pier, and then it's a box with a flotation ring in it. So if someone's going down in that, especially in the harbor channel there, that flotation device can be taken out of there and thrown to them. So maybe we need to look into getting a couple of those on both sides of the mouth of the harbor, and maybe even out there on the other pier, separating the north and the breakwater pier, and put a few of them out there. That's where it's really dangerous. I've been out there a couple times, and that water's coming over that. You get swept off of there, somebody that can't swim, you're in a whole world of trouble. It wouldn't be that hard to put maybe 2 on that and 2 on each side of the entrance into the harbor. It's a pole, and it's got like a box. It's like one of those, when in danger, break the glass. And that would at least maybe help solve some things, but they can't be that expensive. And obviously they're not, price is not an issue when it's going to save somebody's life. That's for sure.
And I agree with you. I know that the Working Water Group has looked at those and have priced some of them out. If I'm not mistaken, it was just the location of where it needs to be. But we'll get that back to them and see where they're at with that, Alderman Mosio, and see what we can do to try to get those installed. But I know that it was a high priority for the Waterfront Working Group, which Diane Tessick, Noel Marcus, and a host of others within our public safety sector is on that deal. So I'll follow up with that and we'll go from there. But thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, those are all of the mayor's comments that I have. Item number 2, resolutions, proclamation, presentations, and appointments. There being none. Audience time. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. We've had submitted to us 3 letters. They will be read by Jane Ferry from the PR department. And Miss Jane, whenever you're ready, and I will time them. You have 3 minutes for each one.
Thank you. The first one was received on July 18th at 12:05 a.m. from Wygenia Briscoe. As a longtime resident of Waukegan, I am concerned that there is not enough acknowledgement regarding crime in this town. Every meeting during alderman time, I wait for more aldermen to at least acknowledge how crime is out of control, and this is what we are going to do about it. Thanks, Keith, but crickets. We are tired of hearing about cleanup, and thank you to staff. There's nothing wrong with this, but please, not at every meeting. There are other critical issues happening in this community, many that were shared by residents that we rarely hear about resolutions. Again, Please raise the bar with sharing key information about this town. We can handle it. This body should be more transparent with topics on how to move this city forward. Regards, Eugenia Briscoe. You ready, City Clerk?
Yes.
The second one was received on July 20th at 7 a.m. from John and Epi Zigo Costas. To our Waukegan City Council, we understand that the City Council adopted an ordinance on April 9th, 2020, eliminating the local distance separation requirements for video gaming businesses. As you know, we have petitioned the city to approve our business for a video gaming license on several occasions, most recently in January of 2019. In December of 2019. At that time, our petition was denied because of the local distance separation requirements that were in place then. Now that those have been lifted, we ask for two exceptions. One, that you waive the 1-year waiting period so that we may reapply promptly. And
For those who are on the line, aldermen and department heads, thank you for your patience. We're still trying to get it going again. Give us a stand by, please. We are back, Your Honor. Okay. I'm being told that we are back. We should have sound right now for for our YouTube channel listeners and visual, correct? Visual and audio. Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. All right, we're ready to go. Item number 4, consent agenda. Motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Kirkwood, to approve items 4A through 4U. Are there any questions to the motion? Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Mayor. I believe we are gonna take out L. Is that correct, Alderman Newsome?
We are taking out, where is it on
The
here?
capital expenditure L, reimbursements,
That
Yes.
was,
proceeds? Okay,
Yes, L.
okay.
Thank you,
Alderman
Mayor.
Florian. I'm sorry, Alderman Rivera, was that it, sir?
yes, sir.
Alderman Florian.
I'd like to take out G and M. That was what they were originally. I don't know if they change once you take out L.
G and M.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Kirkwood, for consent agenda items 4A through F, 4H through K, 4N through U.
Mayor,
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am.
can we take
Yes,
out E?
P is in Paul,
E. E is
E.
in,
Edward.
yes.
Okay. Okay, motions, Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Kirkwood. Items 4 through D, H through K, I'm sorry. Correction. Items 4 through D, items 4F through 4K, items 4N through 4U's in union.
H. Oh, I got to go.
Okay.
Hey.
Alderman
M.
Florian. I'm sorry?
I wanted M taken out also, and when you read it the second time, you included M.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna repeat this
Sorry.
now. No problem, I had it marked down, ma'am. That was my fault, I apologize. Consent agenda, motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Kirkwood. Items 4A through D, items 4F through K, items 4N through U as in union. Yes, and G, yeah, I took them out, yes. And G, actually G was pulled as well. Okay, any other questions? I'm gonna, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. I will read the items. Motion to approve the Committee of a Whole CDBG meeting minutes from June 15th, 2020. Motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from July 6, 2020. Proclamation Americans with Disabilities Act Awareness Day, July 26, 2020. Motion to approve a resolution regarding dissolution of Beach Park Drainage District. Item F, motion to approve 2020 Tourism Community Marketing Partnership in the amount of $31,500 with the Lake County, Illinois Convention and Visitors Bureau. Items H, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Kay McKenna and approve fees not to exceed $30,500 for the purpose of completing an independent feasibility study regarding the issue of TIF revenue bonds in accordance with the redevelopment agreement by by and between the City of Waukegan, Bridge McGaw Land LLC, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to 2-45, parentheses I, parentheses F, correction, 4, professional services. Items I, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Kayenta, a division of N. Harris Computer Corporation, and approve fees not to exceed $394,000 for the purpose of upgrading the city's enterprise resource planning ERP system, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to section 4-458, parentheses I, parentheses 1, sole source. Items J, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Southern Police Equipment and approve fees not to execute $30,000 for the procurement of public safety equipment, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to section 2-45, parentheses I, parentheses 1, joint government purchasing reference GSA contract GSA-07 F as in Frank -0273 T as in Tom. Motion. Item K, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Peter Baker, the sole respondent, to the public bid and approve fees not to exceed $117,000 for the procurement of asphalt-related roadway commodities. Items N, motion to approve change order in the amount of $364,811.90 to the contract awarded to Peter Baker on August 5th, 2019 for roadway improvements for an amount of $3,475,203 to bring the total contract awarded amount to $3,840,014.90. The project utilizes 2018 AGO bond funds. Items O, motion to authorize the proper city official to execute FMCS case 200123-03300 between the City of Waukegan and International Association of Firefighters Local 473 for compensation of accumulated sick leave at 50% upon separation of employment for the payment and arbitrator's fees for the cancellation of the hearing. Items P, motion to approve vendor payments dated July 20th, 2020, total amount of $384,135.23. Item Q, motion to approve regular payroll dated July 17th, 2020, in a total amount of $1,659,503.79. Items R, motion to approve PBLC holiday buyback dated July 17th, 2020, in a total amount of $3,588.64. Items S, motion to approve final cash out name listed on the agenda dated July 17, 2020 in a total amount of $18,761.22. Items T, motion to approve elected official civil service stipend dated July 17, 2020, total amount of $6,866.66. And items U, motion to approve comp time payout dated July 17, 2020 in a total amount of $787.33. Are there any other questions to the motion? We're going to go with a roll call. Roll call, please.
Thank you, sir. Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Here. Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
You have a quorum, sir.
Motion passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Seager, second by Alderman Turner to approve an ordinance adding one Class C liquor license to WB Foods, Inc., DBA Royal Foods. Any other questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Nay.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Motion is passed and carried. Item G, motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Seager, to authorize the mayor to execute intergovernmental agreement by and between the County of Lake, the City of Waukegan to participate in the COVID-19 Relief Fund. Someone had a question to the motion? Alderman Florian? Alderman Florian?
Sorry. I just wanted to know, I read through the information included on this, and I had two questions about it. There were a whole list of forms that had to be filled out in order to apply for this, and I was just curious, is the finance department going to be responsible for filling those out?
Yes, Finance Department has take sole responsibility for because what we're doing now, all department heads are tallying up what is considered to be COVID-19 according to the guidelines. They send it over to the Finance Department. The Finance Department then work with the County of Lake to kind of assess what won't be accepted from there. But yes, to answer your question, the Finance Department will be handling that aspects of it. Correct.
And they had to be filled out by the 31st, which is coming up quickly, and we'll be able to meet that deadline.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it's going to be, I think it's going to be 2 waves of this going on. The first wave is by the 31st, but we, our team has been working on this probably for the last, 30 days, that's 30 to 60 days. So we're really, really ahead of the game on that and just trying to find out anything that else can meet those guidelines. But yes, answer to your question, yes, we're good with those, at least on the first wave.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions to the motion? Roll call, please. Thank you for asking, Alderman Florian.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Good. Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I am back and I am live. All right. Two things we're going to do, everyone. Alderman, we're going to go through to item E, and we're going to get it the same motion by Alderman Seeger and second by Alderman Mozio to approve ordinance adding Class C liquor license for WB Foods, Inc., DBA Raw Foods. All right, there's a motion on the floor in a second, and I'll explain in a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Mozio. Unmute.
Aye. Got it. My fault.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Abstain.
Alderman Newsome.
Nay.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion's passed and carried. Now we're going to go back, everyone, to audience time, because at that time the audio was not working, had some technical difficulties. So we want to read those for the public to hear, just so we are being transparent as opposed to this. But again, they are also online for everyone to view. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Again, we have 3 letters, and they will be read by Jane Ferry. And they have 3 minutes, and we already know that they all cover that. So, thank you, Ms. Jane.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The first one was received July 18th, 12:05 a.m. by Waukegan Briscoe. As a longtime resident of Waukegan, I am concerned that there is not enough acknowledgement regarding crime in this town. Every meeting during alderman time, I wait for more aldermen to at least acknowledge how crime is out of control, and this is what we are going to do about it. Thanks, Keith. But crickets. We are tired of hearing about cleanup, and thank you to staff. There's nothing wrong with this, but please, not at every meeting. There are other critical issues happening in this community, many that were shared by residents that we rarely hear about resolutions. Again, please raise the bar with sharing key information about this town. We can handle it. This body should be more transparent with topics on how to move this city forward. Regards, Waukegan Briscoe. Number 2 was received on July 20th, 7 a.m. from John and Effie Zigokostas. To our Waukegan City Council, we understand the City Council adopted an ordinance on April 9th, 2020, eliminating the local distance separation requirement for video gaming businesses. As you know, we have petitioned the city to approve our business for a video gaming license on several occasions, most recently in December of 2019. At that time, our petition was denied because of the local distance separation requirement that were in place then. Now that those have been lifted, we ask for 2 exceptions. 1, that you waive the 1-year waiting period so that we may reapply promptly, and 2, that you grant us a video gaming license. In support of these requests, I first note that lifting of the local distance requirements, the only reason we were denied a license, we should now be able to reapply. Secondly, the granting of a license is good for both the city and for our business, which has been especially hurt by the corona pandemic. We have been in business in the city of Waukegan since May of 1977, 43 years. In these 43 years, we have asked the city of Waukegan for very little. We came to this country with almost nothing in our pockets and very little understanding of the culture and language here. Instead of putting out our hand and asking for help, we buckled down, learned the language, and built our business to support our family. We were lucky enough to be successful and thrived for many years. Unfortunately, in recent years, We've seen stagnant growth and declining traffic in our area, which has made it difficult to keep our business afloat. Additionally, this year, our business has been especially hurt by the coronavirus pandemic, since, in accordance with state and local guidelines, we were forced to close our doors for 2 months. Despite this, we still remained the same upstanding, tax-paying business owners we've always been. We have not asked for any assistance and would simply like to remedy our downturn by bolstering our business with a gaming license, a method approved by your council that we've seen work for many businesses around us. We see no reason why we cannot be included in the list of businesses that have had their gaming licenses approved. We are upstanding business owners who have consistently supported the city of Waukegan and have patiently waited our turn to be considered. We now need our city to support us by granting us a gaming license. We need this to continue operating. Please help us to be a thriving Waukegan business once again. We thank you for your time and respectfully request your consideration. Thank you, John and Effie, owners and operators, Sunset House Restaurant. And number 3 was received on July 20th at 3:58 p.m. and sent by Margaret Carrasco. Has Mayor Cunningham totally lost his mind? Does he think he's king of Waukegan? Tonight, he's asking aldermen to vote and allow him to be the only person to approve liquor and gaming licenses. Mayor, do you plan to force business to give you a campaign donation or they lose their license if they don't? Plus, how can 3 aldermen whose campaign were 100% funded by the gaming thug be allowed to vote on this matter? This is an ethics violation. Next, Attorney Long, I will be filing a complaint against you and your client for violating the Open Meetings Act at every meeting. The mayor's comments is at the beginning of the meeting, but you allow Sam to blab at the end of the meeting. And you will be receiving a cease and dismiss letter from me. Can you please instruct your client, Sam Cunningham, to stop harassing me? He needs to learn to respect women. I have witnesses and a video. Alderman Seeger, 20 dead cats were found at 306 Elmwood in your ward. Why haven't you condemned this property? Lastly, I submitted a FOIA on loaner gas key number 0944. Mayor, you get a stipend for gas, but yet I have a picture of you filling up at city yards. Smile at the camera, dude. Copy of all emails, calls, credit cards for Mayor Sam Cunningham, Susana Figueroa, Robert Long, Thomas Millard, Marcus Pitchford, Wayne Wallace, Mike Bertel, Tina Smajilski, Janet Kilkelly requested for May 31st, 2020 to June 1st, 2020 during the looting riot. The audio tape for the 911 calls lists the names arrested and charges, body camera video, list of all cease and dismiss and exempted letters sent for violating the governor's executive order, list of top 5 cops with most complaints. Lastly, list the number of rape kits tests not yet processed, backlogged, and reason why not tested. Respectfully, Margaret Carrasco. And that concludes.
So thank you.
You're muted now. No audio.
Okay. Just so the listening audience know, we did read these again. We read them first as it appeared on the agenda, but because we lost audio feed, we reread them again for our listening audience. Thank you to Jane for doing a double take. Next, we have under item 5. I'm sorry, item 5, monthly treasury report. There's a motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Rivera, to approve the monthly treasury report. Any questions to the motion? All those in favor? No. You got to read it. I know. We got to do a roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Did
not Aye.
show up.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Stand by, everybody.
Please stay. Another technical difficulty.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's too far. Yeah.
Mayor, if I may.
Alderman, I'm sorry, Alderman. Bob, go ahead.
Don't make me an elected official, please.
Yeah.
Folks, it appears that we stopped airing and recording the video feed right after public comments. So we're going to have to pick it up from right from that point going forward with the consent agenda next.
Okay. So we can do,
No way around it. We have to have the audience has to be able to see the meeting for it to be a legal meeting under the Open Meetings Act as it's been reinterpreted with recent statutory amendments.
Okay.
Your
So,
Honor?
yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes,
we
sir.
don't need that. We already, the alderman that wanted things pulled out, we answered those questions.
Right.
We
I
should
was
be-
just about to say that. Yeah. So only
Right?
items going to
Okay.
get pulled out. Only items going to get pulled out will be item G for Alderman Newsom. All right. So
That's
so
E.
I'm sorry, item E. So the motion on the floor for item 4 consent agenda, it'll be motion to approve. Bob, do I have to read them all again?
Unfortunately, there's no way around it. You're going to have to.
Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure. So a motion by motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Rivera to approve items 4A through D, items 4F through U.
Well, we took out.
L.
We took
That
out.
was
No, but we talked about them already.
We took L out.
Because it's being held
Yes.
over in committee.
All right, let me,
Held over.
items 4A through D, items 4F through K, items 4M through U.
Yes.
Okay, item L has been held over. All right, I'm going to read those motions. Any other questions to them? I think we answered them. I will read them. I'm going to read them somewhat quickly. Motion, items 4A, motion to approve committee of the whole CDBG meeting minutes from June 15th, 2020. Items 4B, motion to approve regular meeting minutes from July 6th, 2020. Items 4C, proclamation, American with Disabilities Act Awareness Day, July 26, 2020. Items 4D, motion to approve a resolution regarding dissolution of Beach Park Drainage District. Item F, motion to approve 2020 Tourism Community Marketing Partnership in the amount of $31,500 with Lake County, Illinois Convention and Visitors Bureau. Items G, motion to authorize the mayor to execute intergovernmental agreement between the County of Lake and the City of Waukegan to participate in COVID-19 relief funds. Item H, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Kane McKenna, approved fees not to exceed $30,500 for the purpose of completing an independent feasibility study regarding the issuance of TIF revenue bonds in accordance with the redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Waukegan, Bridge McGaw Land LLC, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to Section 2-45, parentheses I, parentheses 4, professional services. Items I, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Kayenta Division of N. Harris Computer Corporation and approve fees not to exceed $394,000 for the purpose of upgrading the city's enterprise resource planning ERP system, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to Section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 1, sole source. Items J, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement between Southern Police Equipment and approve fees not to exceed $30,000 for the procurement of public safety equipment, and further to waive the public bid process pursuant to Section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 1, joint government purchasing reference GSA contract number GS-074, correction, -07F as in Frank, -0273 T as in Tom. This would be funded by the asset forfeiture funds. Items K, motion to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Peter Baker, sole respondent to the public bid, and approve fees not to exceed $117,000 for the procurement of asphalt and related roadway commodities. Items M, a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a letter of intent with the Illinois Department of Transportation and further to authorize the city of Waukegan financial commitment of an amount not to exceed $6,600 relative to the improvements of Illinois Route 120 at Old Plain Road. This is not inclusive of utility relocation or other potential costs outside the scope of IDOT project. Items N, motion to approve the change order in amount of $364,811.90 to the contract awarded to Peter Baker on August 5th, 2019 for roadway improvement for the amount of $3,475,203 to bring the total amount awarded for $3,840,014.90. This project utilizes 2018 GO bond funds. Item O, motion to authorize the proper city official to execute FMCS case number 200123-03300 between the city of Waukegan and the International Association of Firefighters Local number 473 for the compensation of accumulated sick leave at 50% upon separation of employment and for the payment of the arbitrator's fees for canceling of the hearing. Items P. Forward P, motion to approve vendor payments dated July 20th, 2020, total amount not to exceed $384,135.23. Items Q, motion to approve regular payroll dated July 17th, 2020, in a total amount of $1,659,503.79. Items R, motion to approve PBLC holiday pay buyback dated July 17, 2020, in a total amount of $3,588.64. Item S, motion to approve final cash out, name listed on the agenda dated July 20th, 2020, in a total amount of $18,761.22. Items T, motion to approve elected officials civil service stipend dated July 17, 2020, in a total amount of $6,866.66. Items U, motion to approve comp time payout dated July 17, 2020, in a total amount of $787.33. Boom. All right. All right. Motion's on the floor. And no other questions. Roll call, please.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion's passed and carried. Thank you, Alderman, and thank you, listening audience, for your patience and understanding as we go through this technical difficulty on our virtual meeting. I think we haven't had anything like this since we started. But hey, that's what happens when you go virtual. Technology, things happen.
Don't we have to redo E?
No, because we did it already.
Yeah,
we did that already, ma'am. That was the first one we did. We just didn't do them all. Okay. There's a motion by Alderman Mosio and second by Alderman Turner to reconsider the police department? No, the police department upgrades were for Stuckey Construction. That is to be put back on the agenda for the next council meeting. Okay, so there's a motion by Alderman Mosio, second by Alderman Turner for the reconsideration. Roll call, please.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Nay.
Alderman Florian,
No.
Alderman Taylor,
No.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Motion passed and carried. So next items 7, there being no old business. Items 8, new business. Motion by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Kirkwood, to grant a waiver of section 3-89 for the City of Waukegan Code of Ordinance as applied to allow application for Sunset House, 1451 Golf Road, Waukegan, Illinois, 60087. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Mozio,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Before I cast my vote, I just want to make a statement that I do understand the predicament of the restaurant owners, but you know, within the document that they shared with us earlier, you know, stagnant growth and declining traffic is the video gaming. I don't think was really intended to keep businesses afloat. You have a situation where you have businesses turn into small parlors, and then their main business turns into be kind of an added side thing. So my vote would be no. Thank you.
Alderman Florian.
You're muted, City Clerk, just so you know.
You're muted.
Thank you. Alderman Florian,
No, yes.
Alderman Taylor,
I'm going to vote yes on this, but I also want to somewhat say what Alderman Rivera said, that I think people think that getting a gaming license is the solution to everything. And I don't think that this will solve all of the problems for them. But what I will say is they fit within the parameters of getting this, so they should get it because the distance requirement is gone. We made the ordinance to help small businesses get on their feet. So for that reason, I'm voting yes.
Alderman Bolton,
I say yes, and I just want to add to the fact this is so we're not having them reapply all over again. So I definitely say yes.
Alderman Seager,
I'm all for this. Again, I'll remind all of you, I will support our small businesses. They're our foothold. So my vote is aye.
thank you. It passes, sir.
Thank you, Alderman. Item B, motion by Alderman Turner to hold this over to the next council meeting. Not a motion, but Alderman Turner requests to hold this matter over to the next council meeting. Okay. With that being said, we're at the end. Ordinance there being none, and closing items. Alderman's time, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Mozio,
Just one issue was on the consent agenda. I want people to know, the public to know, that we discussed the change order and the payment to Peter Baker. We discussed it pretty thoroughly. All of the aldermen. This has nothing to do with Peter Baker. They did the work under the direction of the engineering firm that we hired. And I don't want to speak for the rest of my colleagues, but the rest of my colleagues on the committee pretty much echoed the same thing, that if we're going to have a change order that large, we better know about it, not after we're paying the person that's already done the work. Ms. Smigalski explained it to us. Councilor Long explained it to us. Mike Hewitt explained it to us. At least they explained it to my satisfaction, that we need better communication from our engineering firm if they're gonna do things that way. So I just want to make sure the public knows that we did discuss that pretty thoroughly in committee. We weren't going to rehash it on the council floor, but the aldermen were all very concerned about it and all made their points abundantly clear, I feel, to the city staff. And the city staff was obviously on board with the aldermen with that issue. So Thank you. Good night.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have a couple items. First of all, on August the 11th, we'll have a virtual meeting for the 4th Ward titled State of the Ward. We will have the mayor, chief of police, fire chief, planning and zoning, the community policing officer, Bansfield, as well as police chief, building commissioner, as well as the other individuals such as Ms. Figueroa will also be in that meeting. I'll send out the necessary information, also be posted on my Facebook page also. Also, we remind our residents about the census. We have until October 31st. We're lagging behind. We need to make sure we're counted. So we need to make sure that we do fill out that either online or the paper copy that you received. Also, the 4th Ward, you'll be getting information about Operation Clean Sweep, where we'll be able to pick up some of those items that are normally not picked up. Also, we'll be doing an alley cleanup. You'll get information regarding that. Also, for that particular August 11th meeting, any questions you have need to be in to my email August 4th by 4 o'clock. My email is rudell.kirkwood@waukeganil.gov. Once again, by August 4th at 4 p.m. to my email, which is rudell.kirkwood@waukeganil.gov. Also, at our last council meeting, one of my colleagues pointed out that our constituents overall spent between $8,000 and $12,000 on fireworks. I found that somewhat appalling. Thought about it, went to some of the local stores that are doing repairs, getting equipment, and a lot of those places are totally out because some of our residents are repairing their homes. And as I thought about it, not very many people got $8,000 in stimulus checks. Usually the average amount was probably about $1,700. So I want us to be careful how we say things because it can be misconstrued. And many of my residents came to me and said, what does that mean? And I said that I don't know because I don't know of anybody that spent $8,000 on fireworks. Certainly we had a lot of them, but I don't think any one individual spent that kind of money. And then lastly, I want to make sure that as we put out brush and other items, we need to make sure that we call city yards, so public works, so they know it's out there, so they don't sit for 2 to 3 weeks. If they don't know it's out there, it's difficult for them to pick it up. Even though they drive around the area, it's better that they have a list of those particular items. Once again, I want to thank all the residents for your phone calls as well as your emails regarding some of the issues in the 4th Ward. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Newsome.
Thank you, Clerk Kelly. I have 2 items. The first one is regarding, and I've spoken with the mayor, I've gotten some calls and emails concerning the executive order regarding wearing face coverings when you're out in the public. I've had inquiries regarding how we are handling it at the beach, overcrowding where there's not social distancing. And I was wondering if the mayor can address that. And then the other one, and maybe the police chief is on, I'm not sure, if you can address how you handle this executive order in wearing your face mask when you go into the stores. Are the different stores responsible for making sure that clientele that comes in have face covering? Do you have to have it posted on your doors before they come in? And if someone comes in, how do you address that without being making a big confrontation? How would a store employee handle that? Can anybody address that for me?
Well, I can, I'm going to try to answer that one. One, our executive orders went out to our city, and we sent those to all of the businesses that are within our city limits. We've even printed out some of our own guidance or publication as to what the ordinance is, and took them out to various businesses and say, hey, and honestly, Alderman, I know you received the same letter from the Lake County Department, Lake County Department of Health. I personally went out to 3 of those businesses, sat in the parking lot. And I'm telling you, everyone that got out of their vehicles to walked in with a face cover. Then there was complaints about employees not having. I walked in 2 of the businesses that were there. Each and every last one of the employees at the grocery store, I think was I walked in the gas station, they had them on. Now I can say this, those at the gas station who are at the pumps, if there's no one around them, some would get out and pump their gas and get back in. They did not have a mask on, but anyone who walked into the various grocery stores or businesses, they either had them in their hand as they walked through the door or walking up, they were putting them on. So I was, it was a little kind of disturbing to say, man, I thought this was a huge problem, and it wasn't. And I sat there for about 15, 20 minutes, watched parents, individuals, interview, went and talked to some of the owners of they did tell me that some of their employees got into a confrontation and were struck. They called the police came and obviously resolved the issue. What we're trying to do is get as many people to be compliant. This is why not just myself, but the police department, our businesses, all of you, we're going to have to continue to reinforce this message. There is, amongst our young men and young lady, a stigma that it's almost over because they consider us to be open. But our narrative, we're open, but it's not over. So we do not truly want businesses to get into a confrontation. Remind them about the city ordinance, remind them about the state ordinance, have all of the signs on, and they do. I'm here to tell you, each and every last one of these businesses, whether it be small convenience store, small grocery stores, small gas stations, bigger chain gas stations, they have these notices on their doors. So, I don't want to fall short of Waukegan Nights not being in compliance. I will say, out of 10, you might get 8 to 9%, but I watched them and I just didn't see what was shared with us by the Lake County Health Department. I will continue to do pop-ups at particularly the named ones there and throughout the city. In some of our restaurants, they're still at curbside service. All of their waitresses or those who are taking orders have the face covers on. The drive-ups have the face covers on. So, I don't want Waukegan to be singled out that we're not in compliance. Give us the names, we'll take a look, but I'm not going up there. I'm sitting back like a lot of all of you do, sit back in the cut and observe. And I walk in and I had the mistake of having my blue City of Waukegan shirt on. So someone kind of recognized me there, but I was watching those at the behind the counter, working within the stores, they're wearing them. So, the key here is to continue to emphasize this and to get tested and continue to watch our numbers stay at that below 3%. I think we're about 3.1, 3.2 as the positivity rate, but we're monitoring it. I think that's the most important thing. And I'm thankful that people are coming to you as aldermen and telling you, let us know. Well, I will personally go there. I love it, to be honest, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay, so we want to tell them that, you know, if you see it, just report it. Don't get into a confrontation with someone.
No.
You know, they may have the mask on and it's not worn properly. It's up under their chin because they just want to just show they got it, but
Yes. Yeah, and I tell you, I think Walgreens, CVS, Jewel, all of them issue statements on a national level to all of their employees and to their customers, saying that there is a state and city ordinance about coming into their building. And a lot of them, I went to Home Depot. I also stopped at the Jewel on York House, the Jewel on Grand, and they have someone standing by the door and they're physically doing the count. I mean, they're doing everything necessary. But to your point, please do not get into a confrontation with anybody. Tell management if you're uncomfortable, let management handle it. And even Walgreens is letting their employees do not get into confrontations. We do not want that, because who knows what's going on in people's minds. We want to be very conscious about what we put the signs up, reiterate. And in most of our department stores, a lot of our larger chains, you can hear it over the loudspeaker. Hey, we're abiding by this rule, that rule, face covers is necessary. So everybody is really moving to that direction. And will there be gatherings of our young men and young ladies? We're really trying to push them to understand this is not over. And I think at this point, we're doing everything humanly possible we can as a city, obviously the Lake County Health Department as a state, and now our business partners are chiming in with their own messaging. And that's what we want them to do.
all right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other item I have is that there's going to be a food giveaway this Saturday
Yes.
in the Lewis Avenue Plaza, Glen Flora and Lewis, from 12 to 3 p.m. It is going to be in the area by Ross Department Store. So that again is July 25th, this Saturday, from 12 to 3 p.m. a food giveaway. And that's all I have. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Alderman Turner.
Thank you.
Speak up, Keith.
All right, so yeah, thank you very much, Madam Clerk. So in the 6th Ward, I've had a number of complaints recently about speeding cars, particularly on Jackson Street and on North Avenue, but also along within some of the interior, some of the side streets. I'm getting a lot of complaints. To that end, I too am going to be hosting a ward meeting.
You're muted, sir.
You're muted.
Okay, sorry. I'll reiterate. I've been having a lot of complaints in the 6th Ward about speeding traffic and loud vehicles up and down Jackson Street, North Avenue, Glen Flora, and a lot of the side streets. Also, there seems to be an increasing problem with shots fired calls across the city, and particularly and I'm going to host a board meeting next Thursday, 5 p.m. on how to connect and so coming out via social media and my blast email to my board neighbor, very politically oriented, excuse me, and a great opportunity to ask questions and hear about some of the proposed solutions that I have and others. So please, we did have on Saturday was the grand opening of our reinvigorated car wash at the corner of Greenwood and Jackson. That whole Greenwood corridor is undergoing a lot of investment. a lot of new business open there, and it's just going to be a really zone, 7 business zones in this. I think that's pretty much it. And look for the information on the 6th board meeting. This will be my 3rd meeting.
Thank you. Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I wanted to reiterate what Alderman Kirkwood indicated regarding the census. That's very, very important. Please, folks, complete that as quickly as possible. Let's see if we can increase our numbers. Therefore, increasing the help and the federal assistance that we require. Also, regarding COVID-19, please continue your social distancing when you are out and when you can. Wear a mask when you go out. Use your best judgment when attending social gatherings. The wearing of the mask has become an issue, and the way I see it, I wear a mask out of respect for others. Hopefully, people will take that into account and respect people as they go out and do their daily errands and so forth. On another note, I was asked by several citizens if we could possibly open the beach up at 5 in the morning. And I'll tell you why. A lot of citizens enjoy watching the sunrise and also walking early morning in the beach. A lot of them have to park their cars because the gate is closed. You know, it's additional exercise, but also for some of them, it could be a burden. So if we could consider opening our beaches from 5 to 8, you know, that would be great. I don't know who I would follow up with, but Mayor, I'm sure you'll let me know who to talk to regarding that. And also to reiterate what Alderman Turner was indicating regarding the speeding. I continually get complaints that there's just a lack of enforcement. Now, I understand that we've been told we don't have a true, you know, traffic division. And a lot of people for the last year and a half have been told, you know, hang in there, something will happen, something will happen. Nothing's happening. So we really need to take some definite actions regarding enforcement, specifically speeding in our major roads like Lewis Avenue, North Avenue, Belvedere. Alderman Turner indicated Jackson. I've seen people flying 50 miles an hour on Jackson, and I believe it's a 35. In a beautiful residential area that you shouldn't be doing 50 miles an hour there. But again, Sheridan, Grand Avenue, Washington, those are all major arteries that we need to begin to enforce speed limits. And also, I wanted to bring up there was yesterday, there was an attack and a robbery at Lyons Woods on the bike trail. It was Sunday morning. The attacker surprised the person, stole their phone, knocked them over. They did have some physical injuries. Hoping that they do get better. But one of the things that was very evident was not only were they informing us of what was going on, they were also telling us, stay vigilant. When you travel through the trails, do it in pairs if possible. I will be getting a hold of the Forest Ranger Police Department tomorrow to see if they can increase their patrols through that area. Because the perpetrator was not caught. Whomever it was took the bike, flew, and you know they haven't been caught. So please stay vigilant on that. One other thing I found out, and this is unfortunate, and my question will be at the end. But Friday there was an event with the governor. I found out about it the next day through the newspaper. It's it's disheartening as a city official, number one, not to be invited. Number two, to find out information like this through the Waukegan News Sun. And I understand some things happen quickly, but we do have very formal ways of getting or informal ways of getting notice to each alderman. And just to reiterate, we need to be informed when something like this happens. I don't like to be caught off guard, and then I come to find out next day on the newspaper what's going on in my city. And I think that's pretty much what I had. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I want to reiterate some of the things that Alderman Rivera said about the census, especially. We do need our residents to fill that out so we get the federal dollars that we are due for all of our residents. I want to also reiterate what he said about the communication. There was also another event on Thursday at the fire department that I found out about 40 minutes before it happened. And I was not able to attend on that short notice. So I'm hoping that we can get more emails out, text messages, whatever it takes, so the aldermen are all aware of these events. And I know it's a little difficult because of COVID. We don't necessarily want huge crowds, but if we're not there, it kind of looks like we don't care. We're not involved. We're not paying attention, but we can't attend if we don't know. One of the other things is the things we've mentioned about mask wearing and all of that is certainly very important, but I think we need a national response plan for this COVID situation. We're never going to get ahead of this unless we're all on board. The mayor mentioned 17 states that have numbers that are too high for people to safely visit or return from to Illinois without quarantining. This is not acceptable at this point in the game. We should be like Italy and some of these other countries that took a national approach to this and addressed it as a nation, and we just have not done that. And I don't know how we as a city make that happen, but I just don't see us getting out of this until we have a national plan. The last thing I want to mention is there have been two relatively, I don't know what the word is, two issues that have come up recently. One is people having things in their front yard that really belong in the backyard. And I checked with Mr. Pertel, and we don't have an ordinance regarding that, but I don't think it's normal or right for people to have a volleyball net in their front yard or a trampoline, or a resident down the street from my uncle grows corn in his front yard. You know, I mean, it is your own property. I get that, but it'd be nice if everybody kind of got the idea that, you know, your front yard affects your neighbors too. The other thing I've run into a couple times in my ward recently are people running businesses from their home, particularly auto repair businesses. One guy not too far from me has welding equipment and all kinds of stuff in his garage that he's running this business right out of his garage. So I'm hoping we can maybe get some communication in both English and Spanish out to people about what is proper and what is allowed and what isn't allowed. I think people think it's their home, they can do whatever they want, but you cannot run a business in a residential area. There's no better way to kick off your neighbors than to do that. So I'm hoping maybe we can somehow communicate this to people so that they won't continue to do these things and wreck the neighborhood feel that we have in our communities. So thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Taylor.
I want to tell residents in the 9th Ward that we will be having another ward cleanup on Thursday, August 6th, which from 8 to 10 a.m. We had one last week. The August 6th one will take place in the parking lot of Power Waukegan, which is the old hobo. We had one last week by the fire station off of Oak Plain. This kind of brings up a situation that some of my residents have complained, why are we doing them on weekdays and not weekends? And I tried to explain that, you know, we have been told by Public Works that because of overtime or because of cutbacks in their budgets, they're not doing overtime on the weekends, which I totally understand. The problem is we have events pop up that residents do and don't realize how that affects us in other ways. For instance, there was an unofficial scoop. Unfortunately, the garbage that was left behind from that event caused our Public Works have to do overtime on both Saturday and Sunday to clean that event up. That in turn affects us being able to, as aldermen, have events on a Saturday also, because we're all using the same money. If we're spending it here, we can't spend it there. So we just need to be careful when we do these, that if you're gonna do them, make sure you pick up after yourself so it's not something that the city has to incur the expense on. I also have, like all the other aldermen, problems with speeding, and most of mine is through residential areas. Lucia is a big problem through the Hidden Glen subdivision. There's a problem in Pleasant Hill and Hidden Orchid off of Candlestick, and also River Road. River Road, we're seeing cars as much as 75 miles per hour going through there. So we need to make sure I've talked to Public Works, we're posting some extra signs up on those areas so that people know this is 35, 40 miles per hour. It's not, you know, there's crossings for trails and stuff. This is not the place to be doing that. So we just need to really, really talk. These are our own residents speeding through these areas. So these are your children in the neighborhood that you run the potential of hitting. So please be careful with this. The last thing I want to talk a little bit about is also a little bit what a couple of the other aldermen have talked about is I also found out about the event on Thursday. I only knew about the one on Friday because it was on Facebook. So I just think we need to work a little bit better on getting some of that communication out. I think it was probably an oversight, but we just need to work together. We're all on the same team and we should be representing the city as a team. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Alderman Bolton.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge our congressman and his passing, John Lewis. You know, he really demonstrated how protesting should be done. And he was definitely acknowledged for his courage, his boldness, and most of all, his humility. And then I want to thank everybody for your support while I was out for surgery. Thank you for your prayers, your calls, and your concerns. And I'm very appreciative of that. And then, of course, I can't help but echo the same thing, you know, do the census. You know, it's much needed. And speaking about announcement, I'm not sure if you all are aware, it will be conducted this Sunday, a day of united prayer here at City Hall, 6 p.m. And you all know the address, 100 Martin Luther King. And that will start this Sunday at 6 p.m. And they will be practicing social distancing. And then I want to also announce that our Waukegan School District is passing out lunches in the first ward to our children and family. And I want to encourage you to look on my Alderman page for those times and days. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Seeger.
Thank you, City Clerk Gil Kelly. I have construction work in the second ward being done at the intersection of Lewis and Dugdale east side. And I want everybody to be careful if they're in the area. They're just about completed. The next move will be repaving that road area. So if you're driving east off of Lewis and Dugdale, please be careful and have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Am I on mute?
Nope.
Alderman, while I hear you regarding the communication when the governor came into town, just so everybody know, the city of Waukegan did not, we were not the lead agency on that. The lead agency was Employee Connection, Ms. Cynthia Dockery. She was talking directly with the governor's office. They had asked me to just welcome the governor and to give those opening remarks, and then it was by the governor's office and Cynthia Dockery, Employee Connection. That's all we had. To be honest, they even changed the location an hour prior to the governor coming because it was supposed to be at 2504 Washington. They told us at the last minute, so we were scrambling. So it was no slight. As you all know, when I speak, I always speak of the mayor's office, the aldermen, and the great citizens of our community. That's our position, every conversation that I have. So just to let you know, when another agency or the governor's office, or even on Thursday, man, when I called you, Alderman Florian, the U.S. Congressman Snyder and U.S. Congressman Underwood really had a joint press conference. Again, we just want you to have, and that was all that we were able to do. So as I get these notices, I try to get them out to you as fast as we can. But if we're not in control or we're not leading the press conferences, I'm just trying to get information disseminated as fast as I can. But as all of you know, I did say on behalf of the mayor, the aldermen, and the citizens of our community, that's how I always lead, how I always end. You're absolutely right, Alderman Taylor. This is one unit, in my opinion. I do want to remind everybody, we are getting ready to update our capital improvement plan. And it's it ends on 2022, but we're going to start now identifying the roads from the Robertson Engineering, looking at IEI, talking to you, and then physically going out on these streets. So if you have any and all streets that you have, get them written down, get them over to us so we can start including this in our next 5-year CIP plan. Then we can then identify our funding for that. It is critical. This is the time. Everyone, you might know some alleys. I don't think you know as many as I do, but there's some things you probably know about your own streets. Let's get them on a 5-year plan so we'll know over the next 5 years where we're going and how we're going to fund them. Thank you for your help. With that being said, I don't have anything else, right?
Nope, just roll call.
All right. Motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Taylor to adjourn. All those in favor?
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
roll call.
We need roll call. Here we go.
Roll call.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
No, let's go another hour. No, yeah, aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
You have a quorum?
Motion's passed and carried. Good night, Alderman. Thank you again. Have a great week.
Aye.